Woke up to police at my door. BC, my mom caught someone stalking me last night. This man appeared as soon as I came home and stood directly outside my room window watching me. Ick, for how long? Police did nothing, so we moved the camera closer to my room and caught him coming back. What the actual fuck?
Scariest Things Police Have Seen, Part 46. This was sent to me by a nephew of a trucker who had an encounter with a police officer. This trucker was driving on Highway 152 in California. He got pulled over by a highway patrol officer. It was odd though, because the police vehicle looked like an older 80s model unit. The officer gave him a ticket and left. Later on, the trucker went to the courthouse to fight the ticket. The judge looked at the ticket, got up and asked, "Do you think this is a joke?" The trucker said, "Why?" The judge told him that the officer's name and ID number used on the ticket belonged to an officer that had died on that freeway almost 40 years earlier.
What the fuck is happening? Gotta go. Get me out.
Deep, scary thoughts. At any point in time, anyone can betray you. They just choose not to. Religion exists because we don't want to think about the possibility of there being nothing after death. You could be the first victim of a serial killer at any time. You probably will never see me again. Please follow.
Selfies that were taken seconds before death, Part 2. Businessman Gia Lajuna attempted to take a selfie with a 1.5-ton walrus at a zoo in China. After climbing into the enclosure, the walrus grabbed him from behind, dragged him underneath the water, drowning him in a matter of minutes. Chinese daredevil Wu Yongjing was an Instagram celebrity best known for taking selfies on top of skyscrapers. While trying to take a selfie on top of a skyscraper in 2017, he lost his grip, falling 62 stories to his death. In 2014, during Spain's annual Running of the Bulls event, 32-year-old David Gonzalez decided to stop and take a selfie in front of two bulls that were colliding behind him. All of a sudden, a third bull that he didn't see came from his side and gored him to death.
Hey Dale. Hey Dale.
from the sky.
Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. It's late at night and you're in a public bathroom. You're finished doing your business when you realize there's no toilet paper. Lucky for you, a figure comes up to your stall and asks if you want red paper or blue paper. What a weird question, but he's your only hope at having a clean bottom. You say red paper. He busts in and slices you up until you're drenched in your own blood. Rewind. You say blue paper, and he busts in and strangles you until you're blue in the face. This figure is called akamanto, or red cloak in English. And asking for different colored paper besides the red or blue that he offers will result in him dragging you to hell. Asking for yellow paper in particular will have him drowning you in the toilet. The only way to beat him is to simply ignore him. He'll walk away eventually. You'll still have no toilet paper, but at least you're alive. Here's Akamanto and Hanako-san. Like for more content about Japanese mythical beings. Bye!
Creepy Halloween story. So it's Halloween at last, and Brian was waiting to enter the school's costume contest. He wanted to dress up as Slenderman. He asked his mother to buy him a suit and a mask, but his mother got the wrong suit and the wrong mask. So he ordered a mask. He went to school and waited for his mother to get him the mask. He tried to delay the contest until his mother get him the mask. But even though he got the mask, the costume was pretty much a failure, and the winner was another boy called Peter Robinson. He got angry and went to the woods to summon Slenderman and be friends with him. He started making this symbol with his blood over and over again, until he felt a presence and someone was behind him. It was actually Slenderman. Creepy Halloween story part 2. So Slenderman goes near the boy, and he draws the same mark on his forehead. The next day the boy woke up in his room. He thought all that was a dream. He went to his mother, but she said that they found him unconscious in the middle of the woods, so he knew that Slenderman was real. The mother tried to get the mark off his forehead, but it wouldn't come off. Then they saw a huge tree outside the house that wasn't there before. He grabbed the boy and his mother with his tentacles. He left his mother lifeless on the ground, and he turned Brian into Hoodie. He grabbed a metal bar and went to Peter Robinson's house with Slenderman, and he took his revenge because of losing at the costume contest. But then all became a fuzzy memory to Brian. He doesn't really understand what happened, and he doesn't know that Hoodie lives inside of him waiting for Slenderman.
This is the reason you should always double check your locks on your doors and windows before you leave the house. In 2012, there's a young woman on the phone with her boyfriend inside of her apartment. You know, they were just talking on the phone, talking about their day, and then she had realized that she hasn't got her mail from earlier that day. And then, in a very nonchalant way, she hops off the bed, goes down the hall, down to the lobby where her mailbox is in her apartment complex, gets her mail, and then walks back upstairs, all while on the phone with her boyfriend. So at this point, she's back on her bed, and after talking for a while and sifting through the mail, she accidentally drops her phone. And the way that she had dropped the phone was that it fell next to the bed and it had bounced just underneath the bed, not that far at all. And again, being in her own apartment very comfortably, reaches down to pick up her phone. She does, however, look to the left underneath her bed, and what she sees is absolutely unbelievable. What she sees is the backside of a man hunched up in the fetal position on the far side underneath her bed. She then very slowly picks up her phone, says to her boyfriend, "Hey, I got a shower, I'll call you later." Hangs up the phone, jumps off her bed, runs down the hall, goes into the bathroom, slams the door behind her, locks it, and starts the shower. And at this point, she's freaking out. But however, in a very calm manner, she proceeds to open the bathroom window, climb out, which it was on the first floor, so that worked out for her, climb out of the bathroom window, and cross the street. When she felt safe enough, she immediately called the police. Thankfully, some were close by, and it didn't take any time at all for them to get there. When the officers arrive, she very calmly explains what's going on, that there's a crazy person inside of her apartment. 3 officers then proceed to go into her apartment, and a little bit while later, those 3 same officers emerge with a mentally deranged man, the same one that was under her bed earlier. While this woman is in shock and really just trying to process what's going on, one of the policemen comes up to her and says, "Ma'am, you're very lucky. If you didn't act the way you did, you most likely would have died. We found this man standing outside of your bathroom with a knife." Crazy things like this happen more than you would think, and
Do you notice something kind of off about this mannequin? For anyone who's familiar with the legend, she is known as La Pascualita. The mannequin has stood in the window of a Mexican bridal shop for more than 90 years, but when she was first placed there, patrons noticed something kind of strange. The detail work on this mannequin was unusual. She was noted with eyebrow hair, veins, and even discoloration around her mouth and ears. But that suspicion soon grew to horror as patrons started to notice that she bore a striking resemblance to the owner's deceased daughter, Pascuala. Pascuala was actually set to be married herself, but ended up dying in a tragedy before her wedding day. Shortly after her death, the mannequin appeared in the window and the legend was born that these were the preserved remains of the owner's daughter. But the most compelling evidence has always been the hands. The hands are shown with wrinkles, they have veins, they even have lifelike fingernails, which is unlike any mannequin I have ever seen. The question remains to this day, could this really be the shop owner's daughter?